Heard and read that unless that awareness that unless you have that same awareness during sleep, you're not aware of that true awareness. You're not aware as that true awareness. Is that true? And if so, what does that look like? Because when I'm asleep, I'm asleep.
No, when you sleep, just sleep. Don't try to do anything else.
I go to sleep like with a mantra and I'm like, okay, there's some piece, some part that's going to be aware. No, I sleep. And then I wake up and I'm like, well, there was sleeping and I'm peaceful now, but I don't know what happened during that time. It's like unconsciousness.
See, there are too many things, people coming to me and saying, Sadhguru, in which posture should I sleep? I said, at least when you sleep, give up all this rubbish and just sleep. Sleep like you're dead.
That's how I sleep, apparently.
Yes, that's how you should sleep. You must sleep like you've gone dead. If you sleep like this, your duration of sleep will naturally come down because you're sleeping deep. Because the body needs that maintenance time. At that time, don't try to do anything. When your car is in maintenance, go and don't start the engine, you'll kill somebody.
Exactly, exactly.
Let it be.
Exactly.
Only thing is, why these things have come up is, it is just that, see, awareness is again not an effort. It is like, see, what are you aware of, what are you not aware of, simply depends on what is the brightness of your awareness. So we can use an analogy like a light bulb. Suppose you reduce the voltage for a light bulb, it becomes dim, So if the voltage is at a certain level, suppose you're in a room where there are 25 people, voltage is so low that you can only see 2 people. In your experience, you think only 2 people exist. But if you increase the voltage, you may see 5 people. Then you'll think, oh, there are 5 people. But if you put on the voltage full on, then you see 25 people. So your whole experience of life is dependent upon or determined by what is the voltage of your life energies. So don't try to be aware. If you enhance the intensity of your life energies with the right kind of practice, then you will naturally be aware. This may also seep into so-called unconscious states like sleep, that you become aware of that also. But don't try to be aware, all you will have is disturbed sleep.
Yes, exactly. So in the beginning of my spiritual journey, it was very much like law of attraction stuff, and I would try to feel exuberant. I would try to feel joyful. And over time, a very short time, I learned that it did not work. And I would become aware in quiet moments during meditation or even just kind of sitting and doing nothing of a peace in the background that grew to become at times joyful. And a part of my mind would say, no, we need to be super excited to make stuff happen. And as time went on, I could see that was coming from that lack, from that corked being of, if I feel super excited, then I can bring something into my experience that is not already here. So the more I relax into that and recognize that it's already here, the more things have flowed in my life, including this experience that I'm having by being able to ask you my questions and share my story. I feel that it is a manifestation of this very natural exuberance that's here.
So you're telling me you somehow manipulated me into this?
I guess so, these energies. It's like when I'm super stressed out, it's reflected. I see that reflected in the emails that I get and the responses I get from people. But when I not feel with this body necessarily, like not me purposefully being happy or fake smiling, but an inner smile that's just there as long as I remember to turn to it. As long as I remember to become aware of it and kind of live out from there, even if Nikki's upset or nervous. I told you I was on Dr. Oz earlier today. And I didn't even really have a lot of preparation time for it. So to have that heart racing, but still be aware of peace or even joy in the background, for me, it's like it's very anchoring.
This is like confusing with the conscious and unconscious.
What is in your awareness is conscious. What is not in your awareness is unconscious.
How to be aware every moment in that?
We will come. Right now, you're awake, so you are aware of the light, the air and this and that around you and the people around you. Suppose you fall asleep. Suddenly you become unaware of all these things, isn't it? Right now, you are aware who is sitting next to you for some moment. Now I am talking to you, you become unaware who is sitting next to you, isn't it? So what you're aware of, what you're unaware of is varying. The sphere and the area of your awareness is varying at different times, isn't it? You're not always aware to the same extent. Whether it's about the outside or the inside, you're not always aware to the same extent. When we talk awareness, we are not talking about becoming more and more aware about the outside. That is only for survival. To the extent it is necessary for survival, we must be aware of the outside. See, if you take the animals, for example, your dog. First of all, why dog entered your life? Today maybe for other purposes, but initially why dog entered your life is, he is much more aware than you about the outside, isn't it? If you fall asleep, he still keeps hearing and smelling and tasting and everything around him. That's why you keep the dog at home, isn't it? Today maybe for companionship because people have abandoned you but otherwise fundamentally dog came into our lives because he's more aware of the outside than you are, isn't it? He can see things and smell things and hear things that you cannot. That's the reason why he has come into your life. But we are not talking about that kind of awareness. When we say awareness, we are talking about you being aware of yourself. So how much of you is in your awareness right now? If you look at it, you will see very small aspects of you are in your awareness. So, we have to deepen this process. If awareness has to grow, in one way, if you look at it, what you call as myself is a certain level of awareness, isn't it? Yes? If your awareness disappears, you also disappear, isn't it so? Right now you're alive, how do you know? Simply because you're aware, yes? So in one way, what you call as myself is a certain level of awareness. But that awareness is happening in a minimal way. We want to extend this to every aspect of who I am, so that who I am becomes a completely conscious process. How to do it? Awareness has become a small thing simply because it's lost in these two heaps. The heap of food that you gathered as body and the heap of impressions that you gathered as mind, especially the heap of impressions. Now if you separate it a little bit, suddenly awareness is in full flow. Because it's lost in this, it is like there is a light bulb. Now if you cover it with lot of cloth, still the light is burning, but light doesn't help to see, isn't it? Now one thing is to crank up the voltage so that light becomes more intense, but the important thing is to remove the cloth that is covering it, isn't it? So we will do both. One thing is to clear it up, another thing is to crank up the voltage. If these two things are done together, properly, sensibly, then you will see more of yourself than ever before.